Today's guest is the truly inspiring Effie T. Brown, a Hollywood producer, longtime changemaker, and a dear friend of mine from my old university days that Jay and I had an absolute blast talking with on the show. Effie is one of those rare creative forces whose passion for storytelling isn't just about entertainment. No, it's about expanding who gets to be seen and heard in our industry. Effie's producing resume is nothing short of legendary. From iconic independent films like Real Women Have Curves and But I'm a Cheerleader to the critically acclaimed Dear White People. Stories that have reshaped the cultural conversation and spotlighted voices too often overlooked. She's also the CEO of Gamechanger Films, the groundbreaking financing fund dedicated to supporting women and underrepresented filmmakers, and has executive produced television hits and meaningful projects across all platforms. In our conversation today, Effie dives deep into her beginnings in filmmaking, her journey through acting, producing, and championing inclusion, and the joy and challenges of making work that matters. She's candid, a little too candid maybe, I'll let you be the judge. Intelligent, funny, and one of the most genuinely generous people in the industry, and a great friend of mine. So get ready for a conversation that's as entertaining as it is enlightening. Oh yeah, you go girl. No, that's terrible. Sorry. Breathe. And exhale. Breathe. And exhale. And welcome, everybody, to the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Hello, hello.
I am Jay Reum.
And I am Todd Kramer.
And together we are Offstage Acting. That's brilliant. We couldn't have planned that better ourselves.
No way, we really couldn't have.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Offstage Acting Podcast, in case you couldn't figure it out. And today, we've got ourselves and a very special guest.
Oh, how exciting.
Checking in with you, though, first, Jay. How are you feeling? What's going on?
Yes, to all the listeners out there and viewers, I am actually Jay, spoiler alert, not Todd Kramer.
Yeah, we were
Not
just
the
being
Todd
playful.
Kramer.
Nah.
No, I'm great. I've busy, and I'm currently dog sitting for a cute little rescue over here. He's a very scared but friendly angel. So I'm in a new space. So that's
cool.
my
It's a good. You look good in that space, actually. That space sort of fits your
I like
motif.
these are good. They're good peeps. They're good people.
Yeah. What's the dog's name?
Carletto, but I for some reason call him Marcello. By accident. The other Italian name, I guess.
Oh, right. Yeah, the other. Did he get upset? Was he
No,
like-
but they laughed, so now they call me Luke, right? Because now I have to have another name, so I'm Uncle Luke and he's Marcello.
Oh,
the dog.
okay.
Yeah.
It's adorable. What a
Yeah.
great story.
Uncle Luke. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just gearing up for my colonoscopy.
Oh,
Always a good time.
have
Yeah.
you been like lubricating like your insides?
That's not
Like-
how it's done.
Well, you
that's-
said you're preparing for it. Like how?
Listen, you don't know this yet, but when you turn 40, colonoscopy like myself, they kind of require you to do a colonoscopy.
Yeah. I'm assuming that means like video up orifices.
Oh yeah, no, they take a camera and you got polyps perhaps and things. It's a whole thing. And you gotta cleanse the colon before you go in for the operation and
Of course. Wow.
but I'm glad
I bet you're really looking forward to it.
it's oh man, it's 1 week away and I am counting the days.
I bet you are.
It's exciting times. Don't get old, folks. That's my only advice.
Yeah,
to you.
just die.
Just die. It's probably better, faster, cleaner.
Yeah, people would
Less
prefer
effort.
it.
But no, in all seriousness,
All
folks, get the colorectal cancer is one of the easiest cancers to prevent and
Is it?
and diagnose and prevent. Yes. So if you get to a certain age, please go out and have your colon examined thoroughly.
How often do you need to do it? Like every 5 years?
I think at a certain age, they kind of, they start kind of saying, all right, get in there and, keep an eye on what's going on down there. And I watched a very fascinating documentary. I won't get into it now, but, the gut is the actual first brain of the body. And, we're big about the gut over here on our end. And
Yes, because you have another podcast. Yes.
we have our other podcast, our other project, Life Longevity Zone. Check
Yes.
it out. Lifelongevity.zone. Health and wellness So yeah, that's all part and parcel of that. But it was actually kind of a trick to go out and get them convinced that I even needed the thing.
Well, I'm proud of you for doing it. Good job.
Thank you. Yeah, one of our former guests had one done, and he told me, get it done. So he convinced me as well.
Good man.
Anyway, so that's the exciting stuff in my life, man.
Exciting. New year, new
colon. Yeah. Boom. We're going full cleanse.
Full cleanse.
So we have something that is exciting today.
God. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's really exciting actually, and it's a guest.
It's a guest.
We locked one down.
Wow.
Which was really
also proud of you for that.
Yeah, that's already like that's already an accomplishment. That's a huge accomplishment. Big dub, everyone.
Yeah. Big dub.
She's a dear old friend of mine.
Okay.
She's not old. We're young people, but
an old friend is a saying, meaning
right. Thank you. I just wanted to clarify because she'll get
for people
angry.
who don't know sayings. Yes.
For anybody who doesn't know what sayings are.
Yeah.
This is one of them. I want to see about the best way to introduce you to her as well, as well as the audience. So I'll tell you what. Let's do one thing. This is now. I've got some surprises, as you know I like to do.
You are wont to like surprises.
Yeah. So we're talking about Effie Brown.
Okay.
She is a actor. To a certain degree.
All right.
She's got acting experience, and she's a great actor. She's a director to a certain degree. Mostly she's a big shot Hollywood movie producer.
Oh.
Yeah. So we're going to talk to her all about all that.
Oh, that's exciting.
Kind of she became a bit of a meme.
Okay.
She got kind of known in the meme circles.
In the meme circles? Yeah.
In the world of the memes.
Uh-huh.
She went viral. Have you ever gone viral?
No.
Not the kind where you need penicillin, but
yes,
the good kind. All right, I'm going to play you a little clip.
Okay.
I think this is
Is it the meme?
Yeah, this is where she went viral. Just to give you a little feel.
Okay.
Because people might recognize her from this, if nothing else. This is where she went. Got some kind of.
She skyrocketed into the meme circle.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah. So I'll it's sort of self-explanatory. I'll just play it.
I just would want to urge people to think about whoever this director is, the way that they're going to treat the character of Harmony. Her being a prostitute, the only black person being a hooker who gets hit by her white pimp.
We brought up to each other. So I think on the surface, they look like one thing, but they might end up giving us something that we don't want. And when we're talking about diversity, you do it in the casting of the film, not in the casting of the show.
Whew. Wow, okay.
Okay, so that was the kind of thing that happened on a show called Project Greenlight, which was Matt Damon, Ben Affleck joint, as it were. HBO series. I see the.
This woman speaks her mind, expresses her mind.
Yes, that's why I wanted to kind of gear you up for the kind of podcast we can expect here.
Wow, it's going to be a banger today.
It's going to be a real banger. So, she's known as the I don't want to say the diversity queen of Hollywood.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm out of.
I'm sure she'll correct you.
Out of step on that. But we'll talk about everything. And then we got one or two surprises. So I don't want to waste any more valuable breath boring everybody with what I have to say. Let's just bring her right in and introduce the lovely and talented Effie Brown. Here she is. Yay! Whoop, whoop. What's up?
Oh my God, thank you.
Oh my God. Is that me? You probably hate being introduced with that moment, right? How many times have you been confronted?
A lot, but no, it's fine. It's literally, it's fine. It's fine. You know what I mean? It's that thing where it's so funny because I've been around for since Jesus was a baby, making movies. And that's the one thing I'm like, but I'm a cheerleader, not for this, not for that. And they're like, remember when you sassed Matt Damon? And I'm like, oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah. I mean, in a sense, though, that did kind of put you on the map.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. It did. Like, that's what I'm saying. I can't be mad at it because without it, I wouldn't have gotten probably where I am now, So I'm not that mad at it, but it's real. After a while, I'm sure, who's not thinking about me at all?
Matt Damon.
Yes. Who doesn't get introduced with that clip? Matt Damon.
Yeah. I'm sure it's in his contract whenever he goes onto a show like this. He's like,
with
we're
the
not
green
going to be
M&Ms and don't mention Project
no green M&Ms, and we're not talking about this incident.
Right.
Yeah.
He couldn't care less.
Yeah, he couldn't care less. But it did propel you in a way to fame in the right kind of circles.
I'm a working filmmaking producer. That's what I am. I'm a working art. You know
but
what I mean?
You're famous for what you do. You could say that.
Not fame. I mean, because let me tell you, there's a lot more. If there was fame, I want to equate that with financing and money,
right?
Which is, not necessarily. That's always a struggle a bit. But like it's a bit of becoming a known, and I'm sure like talk about this, about becoming a bit of a brand, or what you're known for, is and when people are hiring or wanting to find partnership, that is usually something that they'll go to be like, who are you? And it's pretty much I'm like, Google I am not, right? You know what I mean? It's like you can figure,
So what's the Effie Brown brand?
Oh Lord, have mercy. Is this your first question today?
No, but now I think it's
like, why don't you introduce your friend? Jay, right?
Jay, this is Jay. Jay, hi, Effie. This is Jay. Jay's a buddy who's also a working actor. Isn't he great?
There you go. You are great, Jay.
Oh my God, thank you.
How long have?
Great.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back.
Okay.
You feel like it's like I will not be ignored.
Intro done.
I know. Now we're getting into it. They're like,
let's talk about do you remember how we met? How did we meet?
I do.
How did we meet?
We met at Loyola Marymount University. I first saw you at orientation. We were all in the theater department because at that time I was like, I'm going to be an actress. And then I realized I had a hard time finding my vulnerability and emotions. So that was short-lived. But I could fake it. I could fake strong emotions,
plenty.
but not. Yeah. Besides having plenty of money. And I remember seeing you. We all had to introduce ourselves. And I remember, we weren't the same. I'm a year above you, right?
Yeah.
I noticed I didn't say older. I said above. Did you like that?
Yeah. And of course, I went to university as like a child prodigy. Who was very young.
Okay. Oh, this is what we're doing.
I was like
12. Okay, let's okay. All right.
I think I was 12 when I went to university, and you were above me. Anyway, yeah.
Game on.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. I know.
It's like that, is it?
No, I was like, okay, we can go in. No, I'm just kidding. I love you. I remember you being introduced, and I remember seeing you were all angles. You were all. That's what I remember. If you know Todd, like Todd is a lean figure, and I remember, and I remember you being one of those guys, just like
brooding.
Kind of, and I loved it because you didn't care. You were like, "What?" Like, you know what I mean? And I was like, like to everybody's like, it was almost like with a little bit of disdain that he was in the room with us pedestrians a little bit, but it was funny. But he could totally tell that it was just someone new introducing themselves. So that's what I remember. That's when I first saw you. I don't remember how we met. I probably was doing something fabulous. No,
I think we met right there at the time because I recall.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
we were seated next to each other, I think, and we started kind of.
I was behind you.
Or behind me. Or
I just remember. Yeah, close. I just remember because I just remember you getting up and you being like, I was like, oh wow. Mm-hmm.
He's slinky like a snake.
Slinky. Well, we were all slinkier
then. Yeah, a little slinkier then.
I know, like middle age, put on a few for some of us, not.
But we hit it off right away as friends, which was, I think to this day people would think that's an odd pairing.
Really, I think if they got to know us, it would be an obvious pairing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's what
I'm already sensing that.
Hey, right? Do you know what I mean? Like too, like bitter. It's like an old folks' home.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yes, you could.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Could you see us? Like, we'd be our own sitcom. Yes. It'd be amazing.
Having such a great time.
We should have a reality show.
100%. Just like literally. I think it could work.
Our phone calls when we talk.
Epic.
Yeah, they're epic. They go for an hour at least, and they're usually about
deep.
Yeah, they're deep. They're the opening up of a lot of dark corners that are probably better left unexposed to the light However,
or traveled with a friend who knows your darkness. There's that great Johnny Cash song, like I see a darkness. But that is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's really beautiful. And this is my little sentimental moment. I love having you as a friend, and I've known you for 25 or so years. We're grown, right? I've known you for a long.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I've known you
25 years,
like for a very long time.
Yeah.
And it means a lot when you have someone that knew you when you were hope springs eternal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And all the things, and then going through like the devastations and the breakups and all of that, and the things that just didn't work out, and your mistakes. And then to be like, we're still friends. We're still in it to win it.
Still going for it.
And that's
not slowing down.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you mentioned the acting. Let's talk about how that dream died.
I act every day. You know what? Because I have to say, because now I hire actors, right?
Yes.
And I have to say, I'm so grateful. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. So I got into Loyola Marymount on theater scholarships.
Yes.
So I won a couple of awards, and they brought me in. And I knew that I wanted to work in film, but my entry in was through acting, because all I had was like my physicality, right? Like back in the day, I wouldn't even go into it, but like video cameras were about as big as your table or your desk, right? You know what I mean? There were no iPhones. There was none of that. Thank God, because I would have been canceled. But like, there was no iPhones. There was no digital anything. You know, it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
If any of that had been recorded,
like, I'm really thanking God. But like, whew. Nobody wanted to waste film and go to a little film hut, whatever. But so I got into Loyola Marymount on theater scholarships, and I am good. I like to act, and I think I'm a good actor, but I am not a real actor. And I think that somebody like people are talking about, like people who are writers. I think everybody has a story in them, but that does not make you a writer. There's a craft to it.
Right.
There's and for acting, I think there's a craft to it. There's a gift to it, but there's also a craft to it. And I knew that I was like, oh, I have to look in those dark corners and make friends with those monsters, or those dark spaces and all of it's true. I mean, you guys are actors, right?
Yeah.
You know, and you have to make peace with them to be able to call them up and put them back as the role calls for.
True.
And I was like, mine are strong, right? You know what I mean? She ain't going back in. You know what I mean?
And wear it like an outfit, and then take it off
wear it
again.
and then put it back. You know what I mean? And that was a level. And also, I knew, looking at Todd and a couple of our other friends that were at school, I was like, oh, you have it. You know, that's your calling. My calling is to be the boss of all of you. No, my calling, I'm just kidding. My calling is to put the, I'm not at all. It's like a joke, not joke, but it's to put the pieces, like my thing is I'm an Army brat, is to put pieces together, right? And then to do something great. Like I like to make the structure so that people can play. Right. So that's how you know what I mean? I was like, oh, I saw that was not my jam.
So have you made peace with that to some degree, or is there some niggling part of you that would like to? No, not even when you're on the set watching somebody do a terrible job.
I have
or a
to say,
job.
like, I think I could do, if anything, I do have, and we'll probably get to like what I'm working on or doing now, but like I did like Project Greenlight was devastating and wonderful at the same time, right? I can play myself, you know, doing something, right? Do you know what I'm saying? So I would like to do another filmmaker or someone like from the beginning, genesis of a project to seeing it all the way through. I like that.
Okay.
But I don't think I want to play, I can't play anybody but myself. And I like to say I contain multitudes. So I'm enough, you know?
Right.
That was a narcissistic thing I've ever said, but I actually meant it.
Now it's on. It's been recorded.
But that was like, I was like, that's it. I don't,
No, there's something performative about you. And and that's always been your style, which serves you as it would, especially in an industry like we're in, the entertainment industry, and particularly in Los Angeles, where, you know, everybody's got to have some kind of something that sets them apart and gets them face forward, front-footed, in the door, et cetera, et cetera. So you've always had that. I think it was always clear too, even, you know, this is going to be a big, like, blowing smoke session between us maybe, but
great.
Big love fest.
Until we get into it, right?
Until we finally, like, the cracks. I'm getting to the cracks.
I know we will.
But that's something I think we all noticed about Effie Brown was that, you had it. You were going to make it by hook or by crook, and you were sort of dedicated to that. To that, you had a passion for it and stuff. But your performative nature and your ability to express yourself, I've always been amazed. Anybody that knows Effie will know what I'm talking about. That you can go from high octane, full facial, expressive joy, gratitude, love to see it, excitement about the thing, and then boom, in a microsecond, shift into it's time to get serious.
Yeah.
And this is where we draw the line, and now I'm going to lay down the law, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's probably what's moved, that's how things move,
It's very Cleopatra and Antony and Cleopatra.
You're right.
Look at that. I like that. Like Jay, you keep talking. Okay,
yeah, I'll shut up. Let Jay talk.
You could be yourself as Cleopatra.
She's got that quality, Jay. I mean, that's the kind of thing.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. But
it's also, but I'll say this on the flip side, if anyone it's also an armor.
Of course.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's also, I just want to be like, it's not, so it's not, the older that I've gotten, I've realized of that persona or performative isn't necessarily who I am at the core, which is why going back to our beginning is it's good to have real friends who knew you, who you can be safe, can be a hot mess with.
That's
and
why
to be
I
don't want to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this. So it's a different thing when when you're out, you can turn it on, but then there's a moment where ooh, that armor gets really heavy.
Sure.
Or to be I don't feel like it, right? But I'm with you.
Yeah, as this is an acting podcast or an entertainment industry podcast, so we try to dig deep into some of that stuff, particularly because, and by the way, I also I originally applied to Loyola for the film school, but I had terrible grades, for one, and
really. You don't seem like a terrible grades guy.
I'm smart. I'm a genius, but I was terrible at school.
Okay.
And I didn't have any patience for as Effie had pointed out at the beginning, I didn't have patience for the teachers who were all idiots.
Oh yeah. You saw straight through them fast.
Yeah.
You hipped me to that.
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, and I was right, by the way.
You were. No, I'm not mad. You were right. You hit me. You were like,
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah. And the same was in high school, so I didn't have patience for that either. I would have done better. But the point was that I wanted to go into film school as well. I found out two things. Basically, film school, they invited me because I'd put theater as a minor or something, interest, because I had done theater and things in high school and all that, and always been performing. And they said, well, come in, you can do 2 years of the theater program, and then you could get your grades up and you can shift over. But then what happened, of course, is in that process I realized, there's another $20,000 check that needs to be written to pay for the film project, the thesis film that you need to make. And back then there was no, like Effie said, there was no video. So it was you had to go source offcuts, and you had to shoot the thing with a crew and borrow the camera. And then you had to go print the thing in a dark room and then cut it like with an old fashioned editor, because that's the era
A movieola. Yeah.
The movieola. That was the era we were in. And Effie went and did all that. And I just remained in theater because I was lazy and cheap, and there was no way my parents were going to give me that kind of money. So bravo that Effie followed her dream. But
they didn't let me in either.
No, you had trouble, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to it was that day. I blackmailed them in the nicest way possible. I mean, now I'm on an alumni. I'm on the board.
You're their darling.
I'm a part of it. I'm there. Yeah, now I am.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that because but truly, I had to go over there when I got into. There was orientation week. I got in on theater. I marched right over to the film school and I said, you need to let me in. Right. And I went, and I remember I literally did. I'm like, you don't have I want to do this. I just don't have X, Y, and Z. You don't have any women. You don't have any people of color, black people. I'd said anyone. There was no people of color. It was the black people. Yeah, you have no black people here. And I was like, I want in. I want in.
Yeah. There you
and
go.
They were like, and I was like, what do I need to do? Because it was unfairness, and talking even to you, it wasn't even about race or gender, really. It was about resources. Because if you had, I'm getting on my soapbox, but if there were resources, you would have been able to be like, oh, I don't have to be rich. Because my family is like, they wanted me to be a lawyer. They were like, you talk a lot, go be a lawyer.
Right.
They're like, you want to work in film? There's no Black people in film.
Right.
Oprah wasn't a thing when we were coming up.
No.
There was no, like, there was, anyway.
No, Blaxploitation.
Anyway,
you want to be Shaft? What do you want? Dolomite? What you want to be?
They're like, who are you supposed to be? You know what I mean? And they're like, who are you model?
Yeah.
No,
and it was, and honestly,
but we all had to hustle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The only reason I got into the school is because my parents could afford it. My stepfather could afford it, but he wasn't going to shell out the extra. Was it? I mean, was I right? 18, 20 grand was the quote they kind of gave me.
It was a bit of money. Yeah.
It was like another year's worth of tuition on top. And I remember
and we're talking about back in the Stone Age, right? Where 20
back
grand.
in the day. No, but no, you're not lying. It was real. Like that shit was
20,000 back then is way more than
it was. I mean,
it was a lot. And then let me hip you to this. I did my movie and they gave me a messed up camera.
Yeah.
Told me it was my fault.
Yeah, that's right.
Remember that? Yeah.
I remember
they told me like there, and it was all like that was my first
gaslighters.
introduction. It was my first introduction to racism and sexism in Hollywood. Was I got a camera because I even
you
then
went to the rental. Was it Panther?
The rental place that was on? No, it was at school. It was literally the school.
Oh.
The school literally gave me a camera that didn't shoot 24 frames per second, which is what they need for sync sound and film.
Yeah.
And because I had a female DP and a female AD, and my crew, even from the very beginning, I'm not a Johnny come lately. I've always been about inclusion and diversity from my very first film.
Yeah.
And I went back, I got it done. And I went back to the guy and I was like, it's out of sync. It doesn't make sense. And they're like, you girls and Dawood. I remember saying, I'm going to say his name. I don't care.
Say it.
His name was Dawood. And he was like, you girls did something wrong.
Oh.
And then I was like, oh, it's my fault. And I took all this money from my family to make my film. It was melodramatic. It was a terrible movie to begin with. But like now I can look back on it. But
we're going to talk about the movie. Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
I was such pain I was in. Anyway, so like in the movie. And so then that was the first weekend. And I was like, we did something wrong. I took that blame, like we did something wrong. And we went and shot again the next weekend with that equipment. And the same thing happened.
Right.
And I was like, this don't make no sense. And then literally someone hipped me to, I went back to Dawood. He goes like, you girls. And then someone said, hey, Effie, there's a guy that came in and had the same problem.
Wow.
And Dawood got him a new camera from Panavision.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, and it was right around the time of Rodney King.
Yeah.
And I'm already a loudmouth, right? You know what I mean? So I was like, am I being persecuted? Like legitimately persecuted right now? And then that's when I had the whole moment. And the school, it was my senior year. And the school, and now I love them now. And there was a whole different the whole thing. They gave me back the money for my film that I lost. Right? Oh, yeah. They graduated my black ass out. Do you know what I mean? And they were like, get out of here.
Right.
And 100%. They were just like, please leave. Because I said to them, I go, look at me and look at you. Look at the environment. I have the proof that a white, don't think what's different between me and this other student. He was white and a man.
Yeah.
And you straight went out and got him a new camera.
Right.
And they were like, there was a deep
deal with
anyway, so that was it. I had to deal with that. Anyway, they were like, and here you go. Goodbye.
Check.
Do you take a cashier's check?
They're like, and please leave. Yeah. Do you remember that? But now Loyola, I will sing, and there's my little dog in the background.
Nice, I see him.
He's like, hi. But I will say now, because I don't want to, that was in the 90s.
Yeah,
and
that
the
was
school
30
has
years
made
ago.
leaps and bounds. Like, oof.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry. That was a kidney punch I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
That was a very long time ago.
Yeah. 3 decades. That's right. We're doing wonderfully. We're doing well.
We're doing great. I'm totally okay with it. I made peace with everything. I'm totally not bitter.
No, I'm digging, and I'm digging for a reason because, listen, I want to know those experiences, and just for audiences who aren't aware, like Jay, who's a young man, unlike myself, the 90s, it was racially tense in Los Angeles in particular and in the world in general. But, we had the Rodney King beatings, we had the riots, we had the Simi Valley cops were all let off for the beating of Rodney King. And we
Rampart District.
District. Yeah, the whole thing. We had the lockdown. We had martial law on the streets. And so it was a racially tense time. And things were taking shape at that point. It was almost like a resurgence of the 60s, it felt like to me, in the 90s. And so I'm curious as to your experiences there at Loyola and in general and in Hollywood as a Black woman, and in those early days, because you were just a teenager when all that was going on. That has obviously informed how you, as you went out into the entertainment industry, into Hollywood, informed how you approached it, right? Must have.
It absolutely did. And what's interesting, and now I can look back, because it has been 30 years, I did come out of Loyola with a bit of a chip on my shoulder. And that chip on my shoulder served me well. It stopped serving me once I started getting a bit of success, or making a lot of movies, because it was like, oh, you're coming off really hard. Do you know what I mean? And like, nobody's mad at you. Like, like, we're all for you. It was a different time. And I had to literally, and that's been part of, like, that's been my main work, is to be like, not everybody's out to get you.
Right.
Take the chip off. Yeah. You know what I mean? A bit. And like, and now I'm being like, you're no longer the underdog. Like now I identify as an underdog, and I'm like, and there's like the youngins that I work with are like, if you're an underdog, we're in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh, right. I have to shift my perception and to be like, oh, all right, I'm a governor in the academy now. I'm an owner of a company. I can finance. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I no longer have to let that story,
it's like Dr. Dre saying he's an underdog now.
Yeah, if I could only be like, I would love to know what that feels like. I don't know. I want to feel like, I mean, but that's the sort of thing. But when coming out of like Loyola and going into my career, it was, and it was served me well, because it was a lot of pressure. The movies that I got offered, which is I was so embarrassed about then, were super low budget. They were really meaningful. Like, But I'm a Cheerleader is like a cult classic, like I love those films that I was able to, but I always got the movies that didn't have enough money, that were always on location. Like, it was like nobody else wanted them, but they're like, give it to her. And I was like, I can make a meal out of crumbs. And that's what I did. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is great. At Bud Cort, Mink Stoll, Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, it was so good. I love that. That's one of my favorites.
Well, you did something very smart too, which is something I always, I believe it or not, and I obviously I left LA when I was almost 28, 2000 I left. So I've been out 25 years, but I keep going back. When I go back, I hang out with Effie, stay with you at the house there, and but in those gaps, when I talk to actors and young people or anybody interested in the entertainment industry, I use you as an example of one thing in particular, which was the genius move as far as I was concerned, and one that I kind of advise people and wish I'd kind of done myself. And I want you to talk about it. You became a line producer, which sounds boring, and I'm sure it is, but that's where the money is. That's how films are made. If you understand that, concept.
You understand the game.
Understand the whole game. A line producer? So explain what a line producer is, yeah.
Sure. So when sometimes you look at a movie, you see executive producer, producer, like say a whole bunch of names, right?
Yeah.
So an executive producer is usually someone that gets the money. The producer is someone that develops, like works with the writers, directors, actors, and delivers the film at the end. And the line producer is the one that handles the line items in the budget, right? So let's say you have $1 million movie. The producer's like, hey, I need someone to manage the money and the production. So that person is handed the Bible, which is the budget, right? And they have to keep to the line item. If like an actor's day rate is $900 a day for a 12-hour day, like we have to keep track and build the movie
to make sure that we can
keep the movie on budget. Because what you realize when coming up, and even now, so we're going back to where we were at the 90s, the lower budget, you don't have extra money.
Right.
There is no studio coming to bail you out. If you're out of money, you're out of money.
Right.
Like the movie has to stop.
Yeah.
So then also, I also say that, and people say, oh, like line producing or production managing, that's the union sort of title for it, is money dictates creative sometimes, where it's like, if you don't have like enough to do a visual effects shot, you have to go old school and sometimes figure out how to do it like in camera or how to do things cheaper.
What location you choose. Yeah. You can't have that car, you can have this car. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, so anyway, so like line producing, Like it makes me like that now. Like I'm building a vertical studio for Idris Elba. We're doing these micro dramas, and it's my experience of being a line producer and knowing like and producing, knowing how to build a machine. And that's the thing of like that. I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful for that, to know how something is built.
So how long were you doing that for, and how'd you get into it?
I fell into it because I got the jobs that nobody wanted to do.
Right.
The ones that were a little too scary or a little too out there, because like for like the movies that I knew that I wanted to do were about women, people of color, LGBTQ plus, like, you know, the people that were my friends, right? You know, I wanted to make movies that reflected my reality. And so a lot of people didn't want to do those movies. And it was literally the gay community that hired me. That's how I got on. Is that like I love my thank you, my LGBTQ community, because without like, if it wasn't for Andrew Sperling, Jamie Babbitt, no, for real, they were the ones that were like, hey sis, they weren't afraid of me being Black and a woman. They were like, come on. Right. And I like But I'm a Cheerleader to doing Desert Blue to doing all of those movies. It saved like that really helped.
So is that your training ground, would you say?
Absolutely, it was my training ground. It was a bunch of folks that like, we were all outsiders, I guess. You know, I might be romanticizing it a little bit, but we were outsiders.
Yeah.
And we were all coming together to do something for a greater good, to tell the stories that weren't being told. You know, and we were often given less and all, you know, like all the things, like let's put on a show, you know, and literally, and so, but what we did have,
Auntie May is going to stitch the costumes for us.
Exactly, like I'll do props, you know, so that's what we did, and it was great, and it was a wonderful training ground, but it was also a training ground where I was often put in situations of being because we'd have to go like to Tonopah, Nevada, which is in like a ghost, like almost like a ghost town in like Nevada back in the day, where there were no Black people, and certainly no Black, and I'm in charge, right? So oftentimes I had to go in, and I'm like, and I say, if something happens to me, no one gets paid. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, no, I'm not saying I'm not like I'm holding the money, but like I'm the one, like if you want your check, like I am someone that you're gonna, you know what I mean?
You
like
need to protect.
You want to make sure that like Joe Bob in the corner over there, like so
doesn't
like but it's so funny, and this is where I also like my love of like Joe Bob was lovely, was better than the people like, you know, true. Like I'm not gonna like we're like lovely, like they didn't care, like, you know, and it's, you know, I always say that, you know, beware of liberals who smile, for they have very sharp teeth. It was those ones that I had to watch out for. Definitely. And I'm very liberal, but trust, like that's, you know, that's something else we'll talk about, I'm sure.
So it was, at what point did you say, okay, I've done the line production thing, I'm ready to start producing? Because that was the transition, right? You went line producer to producer, or how did it work?
Yes, I always wanted to produce. I wasn't necessarily let in. And it was, and when you tell people, now it might be a little different, but at the time, people pigeonhole you. Sort of like, I'm imagining if you're an actor who only does comedy, they're like, you can't do dramatic.
Right.
Or or vice versa. Or like, ooh, like, oh, you're too pretty, you can't be. Like, you know,
that's like
a
me.
regular
I'm
lady.
too handsome to get
You're
a lot of the
so
character
handsome.
stuff.
You're only going to be leading man.
Yeah, exactly. Which has held me
but
back my
that
whole
sort of
career.
thing, like, you know, everybody gets stuck in their, like, gets pigeonholed. So it took a long time to fight. And that was part of my, not shame, but like, I was a little embarrassed about being a line producer because it had such a stigma of not being creative. And it was a woman named Maud Nadler. And a director that I'm working with still named Cheryl Junier, who did The Watermelon Woman and a couple of other films. We did a film called Stranger Inside. They got a gig at HBO, Maud Nadler did. And Jim McKay was another one who's a really prolific director, who was a real ally, said, hey, you should meet Effie, because they needed someone who knew how to creative produce, but also know how to hold a hard line. And that's how I got in and did that transition. And like, I really like, I love Maud. Like, I still am friends with her to this day. But like, yeah.
What was that project?
Also, it was called Stranger Inside. It was called Stranger Inside, and it's not even, they still have in the library, I think, for like residuals and what have you, but Yolanda Ross, who's in The Chi right now, is in it. And Cheryl Junier, she's directed like Queen. She's a pretty prolific director. And but that's what I did back in the day. And we did Real Women Have Curves.
Yeah.
After that, that's how we discovered.
Is that the same? That's the same people?
Same people. Maud Nadler literally got me into the studio, like got me into HBO, which was beautiful because like there was HBO now is still chef's kiss. But back then we were doing theatrical too. I think I did 3-4 movies for HBO, all because of Maud and Jim McKay. They did really right by me. And before that, like even line producing, I was on a bit of a trajectory of doing prestige indie. Like there's a man named John Avnet who directed Fried Green Tomatoes, and I worked with him doing a film called Things You Can Tell by Looking at Her, and that's with like Callista Flockhart, Holly Hunter, Glenn, like huge people, like what I mean. I got like there were certain people that gave me love and gave me a shot, and I just knew not to mess with it.
Let's talk about Real Women Have Curves, because that's when you kind of blew up even amongst your friends, where I started going, oh, Effie just did this.
Yeah, she's doing it.
She's doing it. This is a big movie like that. And because that was an indie hit.
That was a movie that made it. Yeah, we won Sundance. We were so excited.
Oh, wow.
About that. Yeah. So we won. Yeah. So like we won Sundance. That was our first win with Sundance. I've gotten 3. Since then.
Just don't get confused, Jay.
Flex. Okay, so but Real Women Have Curves, and I love that movie, and I still talk to America. She's great, but I don't know. That brings back such memories. But that we were shooting in East LA, which is now where I live, Echo Park. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
No, I mean talk about don't you don't have to.
No, I don't know what to say. Besides, like, no, I said like it was. In terms
of the trajectory of career, let's say, you're going through these stages, and you're doing better quality work or work that's more close to your heart.
Yes,
because this was the first kind of film that approached a number of topics: women's issue, women of color, Latina, and
mother-daughter.
Mother-daughter issue, right? And then sort of body consciousness stuff, and so you hit like you ticked a lot of boxes on that one.
This was really in my wheelhouse. It was based off of a play by a woman named Josefina Lopez, and I think it just did a little stint on Broadway. Called Real Women Have Curves, and like it was everything. Nice. Yeah, it was a play at first, and Josefina Lopez, and then HBO made it into a movie. And then we hired Patricia Cardoso, and who won a Student Academy Award. She was from for Columbia, and she was great. It was one of those. I look back on it now. It was very challenging at the time.
Yeah.
And it was that we did it with heart. But we didn't know if it was going to work. I remember we got into Sundance and competition, and me and Maud were like, oh my God, what if this, because it's really, there's no greater terror than showing your movie before a film festival audience. Cause you're like, you hope that they like it, but they can also not like it, and when they loved it, we were so excited because it was something that people could relate to. It didn't have to be Latina. Like everybody, every girl was like, oh my God, I've been into that situation. And like me and my mother, because
nobody had seen movies like that at the time.
No. And then they did Lady Bird.
That genre. Right.
Which the white female version.
Right.
Whatever.
The white female
I have feelings about that. I know.
But no, I'm just kidding.
I'm sure you did.
Actually, I don't like any of your movies because nobody's shooting any guns. Yeah, it's about black women. Nobody's got guns.
Prostitutes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, there's no car chases. Like throw a car chase.
No, not yet.
Let's get it,
I'm trying to get there. If
you want a crowd pleaser. Now, you don't need advice from me. But
no, but that's a really, talking about trajectory.
Jay's giving me
I have done, no, I'm not mad at it. No, this is a really good point because I think it's, I've done these films. Like I want to do films that are genre. Like I will always do films that are inclusive.
Yeah.
That's my jam. You know what I mean? That's the world. I want to see the world that I live in reflected.
Yeah.
Period. But I want to do, like right now I'm doing a horror film, called Hain. I'm doing a boxing film that's in Uganda, sort of an African Rocky. Like I'm down. Like it's like I have done I love them, but my coming of age, lonely only, you know what I mean? Like I've done that. And I think other folks, unless something really moves me, I want to get butts and seats and eyeballs on the screen. That's what for everybody, not someone like, oh, I was at Sundance that year, or like, oh, it's on the, so yeah.
What was the budget on Real Women Have Curves?
Like $3 million.
Right. What kind of budgets are you working with now?
Still like $3 million.
Okay.
I'm like the same.
So nothing.
Nothing. No, and that's a thing too. We're talking about being sort of pigeonholed, or sort of like I've worked on bigger budgets. Obviously, like my last film we co-financed was like in the sixes. But like it's not. I've never. Oh, and I did a Jane Campion film called In the Cut, like back in the day, where I was a line producer, EP person on it. Yeah. I was an EP on it. Ray was a line producer. That was like 15.
Producer?
Yeah, because sometimes a line producer, if you've been doing it for long enough, you can get an EP credit. Right. At least that's how it worked. But there's a lot. I mean, I'm talking about like producing and all that. There's a lot of, I'm a part of a lot of, I feel very strongly about the producer credit now, and then how it's violated or infringed upon by all different types of people who necessarily aren't doing the work. But that's when you're a capital P producer. So you can give people like an executive producer, a co-producer, a much more lenient, but like even like we're anyway, that's associate what it's producer. About now. Yeah.
I mean, you still owe me an associate producer credit on something.
You let me know what that something is and I'll think about it.
Just whatever, just something. You tell me what. Those seem pretty easy to get, right? You got the power to throw. Just throw me in.
Sure. Yeah. Right now I'm like this. An ass prod.
An ass prod. Throw me an ass prod, man. Do me a favor. Let's talk about Dear White People then.
Yes.
Speaking of great projects then. So at what point did you, like that's your baby, right?
That was my baby. I really loved Dear White People. I did the film. I did not do the series. So that's the thing, right? So I did the movie and loved it. Like I love that movie. I have to tell you, Justin Simien is such a great director. He had it. Like that's somebody you meet and you're like, you have it. Mm-hmm. He has it 100%. And that was great. I had we shot it in Minnesota. I was doing a lot of movies in Minnesota. Right. He did. So we shot it there. And I don't know, there's a lot of places we could go with this. Where do you want to go?
Wondering, like, okay, so what was the trajectory that got you involved?
The director that got me involved was, so Justin Simien did this trailer, and it was such a good trailer. It got on CNN because people thought it was a movie. And he was like, no, he took his tax return money to make a trailer.
Made the trailer for the movie in advance. Huh?
And then everyone's like, oh my God, it's already done. And he's like, no, it's not done. I need the money to make it. And so he got a woman named Stephanie Elaine. Stephanie Elaine was going to produce it and then couldn't produce it, and then called me in to see if I could produce it. And she moved to executive producer. I moved into producer, and that's how we all connected.
Okay. And somebody handed you the script, and because it's right in your wheelhouse. I mean.
No, it's 100% in my wheelhouse, but like, that's the trajectory. Like, I wasn't with Justin writing the script. Like it wasn't from seed to script. Right. He definitely had, and here's a good one. Lena Waithe, the powerhouse Lena Waithe was his like work wife, right? Like that, she was the one, and a woman named Ann Lee and that guy named Angel. They were the ones that were his creative ride or dies, right? That got the script, but none of them have made a movie before. But they got this. So in our industry, as you guys know, like you can have a great script and a great creative team, but you have to have someone that knows how to make a movie.
Yeah.
Have people trust you with the money to actually make the movie and deliver it at the end and all that good stuff. And then that's when they got it to Stephanie Elaine, who did Boys in the Hood. She was an executive, was in charge of like Boys in the Hood, like, and like oh my God, I'm blanking on a few of the names, but like she's a very prolific Black female producer. who started out as an executive in the studio, like with Robert Rodriguez, like back in the day.
Right.
So she's the one, like, so like, you know, each one sort of helps one. Yeah.
Yeah. And that won a ton of awards. I mean, that did
That won a bunch of awards.
Festival
It won
circuit.
a bunch. It did the festival circuit. It won, like, you know, we showed at Sundance, you know, one Sundance is there as well. And he won Best Director. And it literally, like, that was a movie. And I will say that was a movie that I loved. And I took it on the chin. Like, there's like the story behind the scenes of that movie is that, like, I didn't, and this is something for artists and actors and everyone to be like, you should figure out how to pay yourself, because I didn't, you know, I made, you know, I want to say like $40,000 or $20,000, like something like that. And I should get this number if I'm telling the story, but it had to last me 2 years. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? So if you were making that over 2 years, and that was a time I believed in the movie so much, and I was like, we will do it because I believe in it. And like, but like, I couldn't pay my mortgage. I couldn't pay my car note. Like, that was like, I didn't, do you know what I mean? Like, it was a thing like that was like, this is life lessons. Do you know what I mean? Where people are like, oh my God, because like, people say like, oh my God, if you're so successful. And I'm like, on paper, I look really great. Like, do you know what I mean? I have great credits, I have things, but like, there were some people like having a real conversation of like, what are the things that you do that wasn't so great? And I was like, I didn't realize how much money I needed to live off of in order to make a movie.
Yeah.
You can't just make a movie. You know what I mean? Just to be like, cause it, you know, and be like, you have to have like another job or something. Right. So that was something. And it was especially heartbreaking to be like, oh my God, yay, we're going to be a series on Netflix and all paid off. You know what I mean? Because typically I was supposed to go on and do the series, and I didn't. I got cut out. And that was also something where I was like, oh, but in my mind's eye, I'm sure other people have other perceptions, and I totally respect that. So like, there's all different sides to a story. But, you know, my perception is like, oh, I made no money on this movie. I did it because in the hopes of a series or Dear White People 2 or 3 or whatever. Yeah. And then through a contractual technicality, let's just say, but it wasn't. They didn't want me around. Do you know what I mean? And I got cut out. That's what happened.
It's a bitter pill to swallow.
It was a huge bitter pill, but the lesson from that was make sure I'm protected contractually. You know, and to make sure that, like, you know, you get paid up front for your work. Cause like, I helped that get into Sundance. Like, that's a whole thing. But like, that's what happened there. I mean, it worked out. I mean, now in the end, like, I'm fine. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it all worked out fine. And, you know, what's meant for you is meant for you. What's not meant for you is not meant for you. And that wasn't meant for me because it didn't come to me. But it was a bitter, hard dark lesson. Day.
Yeah.
Hard lesson.
Okay, so far we've gone through quite a trajectory with you.
Yeah.
Wow.
What are some of the takeaways up to this point? Not considering like you're at this level.
This was a good level because like the Dear White People was a great point, because after Dear White People I was so poor. And I needed a job. No, I mean, like this. I mean, if we're gonna be real, be real.
Yeah,
you
but
know what I mean? Like,
it's just the irony of the big shot Hollywood producer. That's like,
I was so no. It's everyone's like, but like that's what I'm saying. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
There's no one like right now. Like I'm in these rooms now where like big dogs are like, I can't get a job. The industry is changing, and I'd love to like talk about that too. Of like, it's a new world order completely. And the fact that I've been scrappy all my life. Do you know what I mean? That I've been scrappy and like,
learned a lot of hard lessons.
Learned a lot of
made a lot of mistakes and learned from it. Yeah,
made a lot of mistakes. I'm made for this time. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I'm ready. Y'all were soft. Like y'all had it.
Yeah,
good.
everybody had it good. Yeah, it's handed to.
Like I've always been
right.
You know, so at the time of Dear White People, I think that was a really, even just as a human being, it was a good time of reflection to be like, things aren't working out. And there's different people and different productions that things aren't working out, including like Project Greenlight. Well, I'll include that.
Yeah.
And the one common denominator in all of these things is me. And that was a hard pill to look at, to be like, all of these things are happening. And granted, some of it is racism and sexism and all of that sort of thing. But not everything, right? You know what I mean? Not everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that's when I was like, what am I bringing to the table, or what am I showing up with that I'm a hard worker, like I never fail. Like that's a whole thing that's sort of like, I'm never over budget, I'm never over schedule, like let's go. It's that like, oh, do people like working with you? That chip on the shoulder that I was talking about before. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's time for you to let that go because it's no longer serving you. You know, you do a good job, you know, a good job. And like, I deliver, I have good taste and blah, blah, blah. But like the work at the end of the day, it's chef's kiss. But sometimes like, but is it painful getting there for people? Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, and my answer was, I was like, oh, I guess so, because I'm not being invited to the party again.
Yeah.
Right?
Repeat client.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like now I'm a repeat client.
Yeah.
But that was the lesson where I had to be like, oh,
I'll tell you what
I'm the problem.
Yeah. If you look around the room and you're trying to decide who's the problem, and you can't figure it out, then
like, am I the problem?
You might be the problem. I tell you the advice I just gave to both my daughters, 13 and 9, who were trying to figure out, navigate the cold, cruel world of adolescence and school and stuff, right?
Oof.
Especially for girls. And my daughter is almost as tall as I am now at 13, right?
Wow.
So she's fully developed almost as a woman and everything else. So a lot of challenges there. Beautiful, by the way, beautiful.
Yeah, she is.
I told them this essentially, and this is maybe tell me what you think, but I said, do you know what people remember about you? They don't remember what you did. They don't remember what you said. They don't remember the favors that you did for them, because she was kind of complaining about, friends and things, how they act. I said, they're not going to remember that you were the one that gave them the great advice, or that you helped them through this period, or that you really sacrificed yourself during this time and pulled through, and they couldn't have been done without you. And they'll never remember any of that. You know what they remember? You know what I'm going to say?
I think I do.
Okay, what, Jay?
The way you made them feel.
Correct. That's all anybody ever remembers, is the way you make them feel. So you could be a talentless nothing with nothing
welcome
going
to Hollywood.
Welcome to Hollywood. And if you're wondering why people
where you're like, this, like, how does this
mother scratcher get successful?
You know what I mean?
And it's because he or she waltzes into a room and goes,
makes people feel like
and
$1 million.
$1 million bucks, and walks out and they go, geez, I like to be around that person. And they go, he didn't do anything. I'm here all the time slaving away for you. He or she didn't do nothing. And they go, I don't know. Whatever.
You know what? Like, are you still talking? Like, you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, are you
Sorry,
complaining
are you still talking? Are you talking about that wonderful person? How dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's a kind of lesson I think people like you and I particularly. Jay makes everybody feel great. So he doesn't,
Do you have that issue?
I have that issue. Yeah.
No. Oh my God, the freaking hair.
Jay loves to be. People love to be around Jay, for example.
Oh, stop.
But me, they kind of take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I've had to work very hard. That's how I knew to tell my children that. I was like, I figured that out, but I was about 45.
Shut up. Me too. Like,
Right.
as I'm saying, like, I think we both figured out, that's why we love each other. Like,
You're
I
the
think we figured
same.
at the same time of just being like, but we're so much better than they are. We work harder. We do everything.
Why can people see
and
how
then, like,
smart I am? And
how smart, exactly.
creative
And they're like,
and-
you know what? Literally. And they're like, people like the one thing we have going for us is that, like, and I say this, I'm like, I'm funny. I'm not nice. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll make you laugh. Like, we'll have a good belly, but like after a good belly laugh, but it'll also be like, I will snatch you up in a minute.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Don't
like,
don't
goes
confuse my jocularity with vulnerability,
for like,
With kindness.
weakness and
But
kindness.
like, exactly. Well, kindness, I like to think that I'm kind, but like there is something, but like nice.
You're not going to be able to take advantage of me. As soon as you think, oh, I could take advantage of this clown.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
100%.
I love to be taken advantage of.
Oh my God, Jay, I love you. Come work with me. Hey, Jay, I'm gonna have a job for you.
I've known her 30 years and she's never asked me to work with her.
You make me feel.
I just make her feel awful. Yeah. Okay, so we're learning life lessons.
Yeah, that was a big life lesson.
That's a big life lesson. So how does that parlay now into you went?
Oh, I have to feed the dog real quick. I'm going to
Okay,
get back.
Jay's got to go feed his
Feed the puppy.
Yeah.
I'll switch over here. Okay, so let's figure out where we go next after this. You ended up then, you went to HBO?
Oh, you mean after Project Greenlight? No, it was okay.
Project Greenlight was okay. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Okay. So Project Greenlight, again, I took that job because I was not supposed to be on camera. It was another person, the really sort of good-looking producer guy named Mark Joubert was supposed to be the main person. I was supposed to be the back of house person, just making the movie, right? And then quickly that turned into something else where I realized, and also, but like, you know, at the time it was traumatic, but like, I'm also a ham. Like, don't get like going back to that performative thing.
I know.
Like there was something like, I'm also a ham. So like, I didn't mind it, but then I didn't realize, like, and it was so funny because this is really poignant. Like my father has since passed, but I remember talking to my mom and my dad. And I was like, hey, I'm going to be on this show called Project Greenlight. It's going to be with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and we're going to make a movie, and we're documenting making a movie. And my mother was like, oh, okay, that's great. And my father, and I'm a daddy's girl, and my father was a military dude. Mm-hmm. My father was like, and he's the one that everybody loved. My dad was like a 6'6" big black man, army, but like everybody like Ron loved him because he knew how to make himself like a teddy bear, because he knew that he intimidated, like just people got freaked out, right? So my father said to me, he goes, baby Effie, because that was my name. He's like, baby Effie, like, are you sure you want to do this? And I was like, what do you mean? I thought for sure my dad would be the one that would be like, go girl, yeah. And he goes like, are you sure the cameras are going to be on you all the time? And I go, yeah. And he's like, well, I'm not like, you know, I'm going to be, and it's going to be great for me. And my dad goes, are you sure about that? He goes like, well, Effie, because you are a very difficult person.
Wow.
And my father loves me and I love my dad, but my dad
obviously knows you very well too.
He knows me, and he knows like, and he knows that, and you know, you'll get to know, like, I value straight talk. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't deal well with subtlety and like sort of like, He was like, you're ambiguity. A difficult person. Like, you're really complicated. And he goes, and you sure you want people to know all of that? And I was like, and I had this moment where I was like, Daddy. I was like, but like, you know, but it was a thing. He didn't say it maliciously, and it wasn't a dig. It was just like
he
someone
just knew
being
that
like,
the cameras were going to capture it all.
The captures were, they was going to be like, are you sure you are a difficult person?
Especially under those conditions.
Like, I love
this isn't you bebopping around the house in your slippers.
No, because my dad also was like, knows how I work, right? Because he would come to set sometimes or something. He's like, are you sure you want people? And also he knows that like he is he's a lonely only. He was like executive VP of human resources for Avery Dennison International. Like he had a huge corporate job where he was like, it's a different world, at the top. Like letting people, like, you know what I mean? And being the only Black person and then being in charge and then having in people, like how they respond to you. So that was Project Greenlight. And my father was really right, you know, and I'm not saying I'm difficult or complicated, because I do feel I can stand 10 toes deep on that show of like everything that I said and everything that I did. I stand behind, I believe in it. I was right.
I'm going to challenge you on that a little bit.
Do you know what? Well, let's go, because I was right. And it was interesting in being that it wasn't until the head of HBO, Len Amato, said the same thing I said, that I was vindicated at the end. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? The end. But at the end, but like I said, right, it's a reality show. I thought I was making a docuseries. It turned out to be a reality show. That was a mistake, right? You know what I mean? That was not the brightest. But I didn't know. But here's the thing. They were offering me money to produce the movie. And remember, my house, it was during the time of the housing bubble. Like what? But like we're, right? We're not in 2008, not the bubble, but like where everybody was getting their houses foreclosed on because those big balloon payments are like you ever seen The Big Short?
Big Short.
Oh, yeah.
The Big Short. Yeah, I was the stripper. I didn't realize that I was the stripper. I did when I realized, I was like, oh wait, I shouldn't be in this house.
Yeah.
Way overextended. And now they want all the money. Anyway, so I needed the job, and they paid me, and HBO was my home.
Yeah.
I did 4 movies for them, right?
Yeah.
So like I was like, great. And that's why I did. And that's and that a lesson that was learned of like, always have a little bit of money so that you don't have to take a job because you have to. You should take a job because you want to. I had to take that job. I'm grateful that I took that job, but I've never worked for HBO since. They did another project, Greenlight.
Yeah.
A Black version after our thing. Oh yeah, with Issa Rae. Never was invited back. Never. Did you know what I mean? Like there's certain
they learned
things.
A little bit there, yeah.
They learned, you know what I mean? Everybody learned, but like there's a bit of like my father was right of being like,
yeah,
nobody's going to want to mess with you after this. You know what I mean? Like it was a part of like, you know, Black Twitter saved my life. It started, I feel I was an impetus to the DEI conversation because this was before diversity and inclusion was really even talked about. You know, this was like 20.
Yeah. You were
17 or 18. You know what I mean?
You, and I'll say this boldface, were one of certainly the catalysts for that conversation. You were a part of that conversation. Of that
like
larger
I said, there was other people having it, but
they were
me in a public way. In a public,
people were having it, but you were part of the let's say the panel that people were then having conversations on top of, and that's from the incident we just played with between you and Matt.
100%. And then like there was many more incidents from that. But after that, I went to like I was like, oh, I saved my little money because I learned my lesson. And then Lee Daniels called me, and I love this man, Lee Daniels of The Butler, Star, Empire, Lee Daniels. He was like, girl. And I was like, what? He's like, you let those white boys have it. And I was like, what do you mean? And I got nervous. He's like, you let them have it. And he was like, what are you going to do now? And I was like, and I literally, no, because he knows that he's hip to the game.
Yeah.
Because he was like, what? He's like, girl.
Yeah.
Like my father being like, they don't like, you know what I mean? You're not making people feel good, right? You know what I mean? You're not making them, you're sort of calling them on their shit. Like, no, everyone likes, everybody supports, everybody likes it until it's them.
It needed to be done, but you're the, let's kill the messenger here.
100%. And Lee Daniels, and I was like, I don't know, Lee, like, I'm hoping that like people will forget about it soon. Cause it's like, short attention span. I have my little money saved and I'll hole up and then I'll go out and make a movie. And he goes like, no one's going to forget about this soon. Like you came after their darlings. Like, Matt Damon had to apologize. He didn't apologize to me, but he had to apologize, and then so Lee Daniels gave me a job. And I went over to work for his company and we did a TV series called Star. Like, so that's what I'm saying. There's like people who are like angels, who were like, hey girl, hey, they're like, and he did. And he was like, I'm gonna give you this job for a year. You know what I mean? So I had a little job for a year and you know what I mean? And just started making that way. But like, that was a time when you're going back to your original question of like, what did you learn by this time? You know what I mean? I was like, okay, get rid of the chip on my shoulder. It's how people make you feel. It's how you make people feel, and then also, there are good people out there that'll be like, let me come help you out because like, you're in trouble, I know, and that was late. And so as for me, now it's my turn, right? Do you know what I mean? I do the same thing for other folks. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, ooh, come over here, like, come in, like, I'll provide, shelter from a storm. Or to be like, oh, you're broke right now. I totally get it. Come do this little job. You know what I mean? Like, you just got to be able, when you're in it, because I've been around a long time now. Like, I am a vet, right? And you get to see a lot of people who I started out with on Real Women Have Curves or Stranger Inside are no longer in this business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They didn't. Yeah,
it's a hard business for anybody, black, white, whatever. It's hard. It's a hard, and it's not for
it's a
the faint-hearted.
Yeah, it's definitely
100%. Yeah, but I just want to share, like, so after all of that drama, there are good people, and like Lee took me out, and like I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I think probably, and I won't speak to anyone else, but I assume that to some degree they felt that you were speaking for them, speaking for the community. And it's clear even in let's put it this way. Had I been in the room and it was me saying the exact same thing, I wouldn't have had to tippy-toe around, well, I hate to be the one to have to bring this up as the only woman, but, sir, if you don't mind, I just need to point out that you got a black 100%. Hoe being slapped in the movie, and there ain't nobody else.
By some white guy.
By some white guy.
You know what I mean?
And like, nobody's talking about it. But are we gonna? And they would have been like, "Oh, that's a great point, Todd. Thank you for bringing."
Like, you're such an ally.
You
Oh
really
my God, you're
are
a forward-thinking guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
You're tuned into the,
Exactly.
So
you're
it would have been
people, man.
Of the people.
Yeah.
Wow, look at Todd. How do you know these things? Have you been down in the streets?
In the ghetto.
Have you got friends in the ghetto?
You say.
No offense to Mr. Damon and Mr. Affleck.
As he turns his eye, I'm like, he hasn't been paying attention to me this whole time, but this is the one fucking time. The one time he pays attention. I'll be in such trouble.
Right.
One of our subscribers. Yeah.
But two other. He's a major subscriber to the show.
Major subscriber about Damon, everyone.
But there are two things I also remember about that period that when I talked to you when it was coming out. And I do remember it was 2007, actually, I think. 2007, 2008, maybe, no, 2010. Anyway, the one thing that you had said to me was that you definitely had to make some phone calls and do some, you were very concerned about the editing of the show.
Oh, 1,000%. Because I was like, it didn't.
They were about to throw you under the bus. They could just take.
They did. They could have.
They could have.
This
easily.
is what was said to me. They were like, they literally said, Effie, you're going to have a rough couple of weeks.
Right.
But at the end, I assure you, you're going to come up on top.
Right.
And they were like, this is it. And they knew what they were doing. But even for then, I think, being the black villain, that was a stick of the black female villain.
And because it's a reality show, they needed the drama.
And I thought it was a docu-series. It was on HBO.
Yeah.
I didn't think, it wasn't Bravo,
No.
but whatever. But that was stupid. But here's the thing. It wouldn't have made a freaking difference.
Yeah.
I had to get real with myself. I was poor. I needed a job.
Sure.
After Dear White People. Do you know what I'm saying? I needed
a
job.
Also, let's be frank, you craved that the limelight was calling. You're going to be
100%. No,
on TV.
That's what I'm saying.
As yourself.
1,000 as me.
It's high profile.
And then it's shocking to be like, I'm not as well received as I am in my mind. you're like, wait a minute.
I think we can say it this way.
I'm not as fascinating as I think I am.
Exactly. The promise I'm going to be on TV as me was a draw, an exciting challenge, and an opportunity.
And my father being like,
at the end
everyone's going to see you.
Yeah. And at the end, it was, I'm on TV as me.
Me.
Oh. And then the other thing that was,
exactly.
I did have to,
I know, bless his heart,
God bless
right?
you. God bless you, old man. I did have to give you a little bit of flack at some point because in the series, and I don't know if you remember, I said to you directly, you said, and they cut this all the time. They put this, every time you said it, they put it in, which made it even worse. But you said, I have produced over 17 movies. I have produced over
so bad.
And I have produced over 17 movies.
I have produced. Can I tell you?
Over there, it's in there about 20 times.
No, can I tell you? Yeah. I probably said it 1,000 times. And can I just no.
Yeah.
This is I look back on that and I look at myself and I just go that is a sign of a deeply, deeply insecure person.
Yeah.
And someone who is trying to be look at me. I'm here.
How dare they do this? Don't they know who I am? I've produced over 17 movies.
100% of just being I've made these movies, right? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And that's when you just sort of, and it's so funny. I should have, it literally was, but it's fun. You can give me shit for it. I look on it and with great sadness of being that poor girl. No.
I know. I saw that too. You were definitely defending your, it was in full defense.
But being when I say poor girl of being now, if I were doing a project Greenlight, I'm going to do another something like that as myself. As soon as someone gives their bona fides or bona fides, you're done. It's there's a guy I worked with named Rodrigo Garcia when I worked with John Abnett back in the day. And he said, if you ever have to tell somebody that you're a lady or you're rich, you're neither.
There you go.
And I was like, that is so funny. I'm a lady. And it's you're not a lady. Do you know what I mean? I'm rich. You're not rich because rich people and ladies don't have to say it.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And you're
other people say that for you. Yeah.
Exactly. But that's what I think about. But I did so many, like it was, and also, and then here's the other thing too, like, thank God for Bound. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like the fat chat, because like, if you also notice in that show, I was eating my feelings. It was like, you could actively see all of my vulnerability and all of my, like, my insecurity, like with the donut. Like, I would literally, people like, oh my God, she's so funny. She's talking to the donut. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that for the camera. I love my food, honey. I talk to it all the time. We're in a relationship. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's like certain things where I was like, yes, I'm just doing that for show. And then you realize, but are you though? Because you do this at home by yourself. You know what I mean?
When there are no cameras. Yeah.
When there are no cameras. Yeah. So like but I have to say, like, I look back on it now and I go, I'm grateful that I was on it, because I actually got to see me. How other people see
there
me.
You go. Yeah.
And then the other thing that I thought you were going to give me shit on is give me flack on is I am terribly condescending. I had
you know that
idea.
About like, you need me to tell you that?
I do.
You didn't know that?
Two peas in a
People
pod.
tried to say they were lying. I know. I am the black. I am. You know, he's the white version of me.
I'm the white Effie Brown. I'm the white male Effie Brown.
Exactly, Jonah. But it's the truth. But like, I didn't realize. I was like, oh, I sound condescending.
Oh yeah,
I sound like
terrible.
a know-it-all, and I sound condescending, and at the same time, I'm insecure and self-deprecating. Like nobody knows where deeply. It's just a mess.
Also, the fact that nobody says I've produced over 17 movies. What does that equal? 18? People say 100%. I've done over 15 movies, and then you just
no, I did,
or nearly 20. I've produced almost 20 movies.
Count those credits. Did I really?
I don't know, but it was 17 you were landing on every time, so it's not over 17. It was probably exactly 17. I've produced exactly 17 movies, right? At best.
At best.
That's
I think about
fudging.
that. It was just so, and it sounded like, and I used to work with a guy named Bruton Jones, who was a production designer on that. Yeah. I think he was, and he was all like, he was literally, no, it was Cecil was whatever, I forget. But like, I remember, like, I said on another film, just because I said it on Project Greenlight doesn't mean it's the first time I've ever said it.
Right.
I would say that on my other movies. Like when someone is that deeply, like, that was not my first time saying that to people.
Yeah.
That was like, that was something that I would say all the time. And it became habit.
Yeah.
It was
sure.
but it was fascinating just to be like, I was like, you know what you're not going to say? That. You know what you're not, you know what I mean? You know what you're not going to be? Don't be an asshole, Effie. Yeah. Like, shut up. You know what I mean? Exactly. You don't have to, when you want to be right, or do you want to be happy?
I'm choosing
to be happy.
I'm going to come to your aid at this point now. I'm going to rescue slightly.
Uh-oh.
What's that?
Ooh, the dogs are barking.
Dogs.
Relax.
Sorry. Because of the position you're put in, because of your gender and your color, I've said it. And, hey, I'm just putting it out there, whatever.
As an ally.
Exactly. As an ally. From childhood all the way up through whatever, high school, then the university experience, all the stuff we've talked about, blah, 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 blah. I can understand why it had become deeply ingrained in you to feel the pressure of, I have to keep validating myself, and I have to keep validating myself to others because nobody else is going to do it because of the kind of biases that exist in the world and in the industry, right? Yep. So I wouldn't say it's so much a flaw in you in as much as it is that the environment that you were in or working in, living in, forced you to have to find ways to sort of mitigate the narrow box that you were being put into on the constant. So I think you can be forgiven as much as we're having fun with it.
Oh, thank you.
Having to go to that extreme, right?
No, I appreciate that, and I also like what was great about that experience of being able to look at it and be horrified, terrified, sad, and all that is that like I now can meet other people with grace because when I see them doing it, because before it would be a trigger. Now I know I'm like, oh, we're not listening to them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like they're not being heard.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If I hear, you know what I mean? Like if there's, I get to see like everything, like I
100%.
laugh now.
Yeah.
But I'm able to see like, oh,
I'm the same.
This came from XYZ.
Yeah.
You feel like you feel less than. You're coming from lack and scarcity.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing like all the things. Like you get, like I get, I mean, I love it now that I can look back on it and have that sort of a moment of grace for myself and especially for other people. Like I'm a much better producer now.
Yeah.
If I, and I'm only because I've gone through all of those things. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's a growing thing. And I know you've always been keen to grow. And that's one of the things that sets you apart from any other sociopath is that you...
There you go. I'll do it.
That you have been actively seeking, improvement and change throughout, and being able to confront yourself with those kind of moments when it's like, oh, that's a fail. I failed myself. I failed others. I let myself down on that one. But that's all right. If I don't pick myself up, then I've got friends, angels, as you put it, others who care and love and know me and will come along and pick me up. And I'll keep going and improve. And that's one of the things I've always, this is a big love fest at this point. Jesus.
I know. Jay's like,
just get a room.
No, you guys can't tell. I'm tearing up.
Jay loves all this sappy shit.
I love it.
Yeah. But that's really the truth is that, you will continue to gain strength upon strength, I think, as you.
I hope so. For me, I mean, yeah, I hope so. Thank you for that.
It's either that or
die.
Or die.
I become a true sociopath.
Literally drop dead.
American Psycho, black female version. What was his name in American Psycho? I'm blanking on his name, but anyway, not
Christian Bale.
The character name.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
But they're making another one. But that's a sociopath with the card.
With the card and
yeah.
His card was when he's holding the business card. He's like,
exactly, like that's a 12 font.
Is that a 12 font with a bust? I love that movie.
Me too.
Did you see
the book?
Did you see the interview where he said he based it off of what Tom Cruise in an interview? Have you guys seen this video?
Oh no!
Oh really?
No. What? Christian Bale said he based his character off of Tom Cruise, and there's an interview of Tom Cruise, and I think he's on David Letterman, and he's going like ha 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 yeah ha ha, and he's laughing, but his eyes are clearly like I'm not like shut up.
This is not funny.
There's a video of it. I'm surprised you haven't.
Well, because I can talk about Matt Damon, we will never talk about Tom Cruise because he truly does run Hollywood.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And I will never try to get the ire of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, don't.
He's our hero. I'm like this.
Oh, Tom is the last great American movie star. Patrick Bateman. Patrick Bateman is the character.
Right.
Yeah.
And
he will have you killed. That's the kind of power he possesses.
Thank you. Exactly.
Tom's a nice guy. Patrick Bateman was the name of the character.
Patrick Bateman. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. There you go.
Just for fun. So are we ready? There's a little American Psycho.
There you go. I love that. So good.
It's a great photo.
It's such a good movie.
I watched that movie before I understood what it was about. And then it was afterwards, I was like, this is great, but what is it about? And it was
written by my friend Gwen Turner.
Really?
Turner.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
The screenplay or the book or both?
The screenplay.
Right. Guinevere Turner. Nice.
Cool.
You have so many big Hollywood friends.
Oh, she was also in Watermelon. She's like she's a queer professor now and writer. She's badass. She grew up in a cult. She's badass.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh,
maybe we'll get her on the show.
Cool.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, wait, that just went dead silence.
Silence.
He's my friend.
I'm not helping. Yeah, I'm not helping you get. Okay.
Get your own. Okay.
Get your own friends. Now, I promised you a surprise.
Oh no. Okay.
Right. I gotta make this work somehow. So let's see.
That's just terrifying.
It should be.
It should be terrifying.
We're gonna see if we can. Now this. I'm not gonna get this to work. Okay. I gave the surprise away already. Oh, there it is.
But they made my outfits for this play. I remember that.
So there's a little taste of our very own Effie T. Brown.
It's not showing, but it's fine. I look cute.
It's coming. It's coming. It's at.
It's buffering.
Is it buffering? What's it doing?
These old films, all the grains have to be buffered.
Okay, now I have to do. Yeah, sorry. Right. I see. Okay. Here we go.
English kind of way of living that I like. London and beautiful thieves and shooting box in Scotland and that lovely Ocasio West. Oh, you were there, Sherry, nowhere near. Oh, my God. Well, really, Sherry, why not? If I can marry Cedric, I don't see why I shouldn't. And shall I tell you something, Sherry? From something he said just before I failed, I think that he's finally coming around to it. Nothing definite, mind you. But don't be surprised if before very long, I am Lady Bottomley. Lady Bottomley.
Wow.
Okay.
What do we think of that?
There you go. Now you're happy that I'm a producer, right? I know. I had a good time with Lorraine. I love that. I had the fabulous outfits. I played the diva,
outfit.
right?
Yeah.
The
actress. You played the actress. That was called it was a play called The Man Who Came to Dinner. Very fun farce.
Yeah.
Comedy.
Big. It wasn't a drama. It was Shakespeare. It was doing a little Chekhov that we were.
Yeah.
It was the seagull.
Exactly. Could you not see? I was a little over the top.
She was like a little hammy for Chekhov. No, but how much did you love doing that? I mean, and when you watch that kind of thing, do you harken back to a time? I look
back on it and I just laugh. Like, I think I would do. Here's what I would do.
All right.
If we got together like the Little Rascals, our old friends, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To do a play, I would do that. I would do something that would for fun and for free. Like that would be fun.
Right.
Like I would go back and to do something like that. But I truly have no.
That's a great idea.
Do you know? I think it'd be fun.
You guys should do that.
Yeah, I mean, like old folks, it's like coming together and being like, let's just like one last hurrah. Like I'm doing these vertical. Anyway, like I feel like there's something that could be done of like, let's just all get together and do a movie for like, our movie or something and like for 2 weeks. So we'll go someplace and we're gonna do our own big chill or whatever. And like all the people who didn't, you know what I mean? Anyway, that could be fun, like that for fun and for free. But I mean, acting, it's hard. Like I think people, people infringe upon the producer credit quite a bit, but I think people also infringe upon the craft of acting. People being, I'm an actor, and be like, you're not an actor. You're someone who's pretty that can say a few lines. Like a real actor,
right.
To me, is like it's a real craft. It's really, and it's a lot. It's work. And you have to be sort of also called for it, So anyway, I don't want to ever take I really have a deep, deep respect. And doing like the thing we didn't talk about is when like, a lot of my job is casting and attaching talent.
That's what I want to talk about. Right.
So I figure people they're like, why are we talking about producing? Like we're talking about acting, right?
Yeah, well, it's about getting to know you, but I think the question people want to know the most from you, really, and in terms of the casting and things, is why haven't you ever cast me in any of your projects? I mean, that's the question that I get the most.
It's the people. That's what they want to know.
If I'm going to go say, John from Westmoreland is asking.
John from Kentucky is asking.
John from Kentucky is asking.
You would be great. Like I do feel if there's anything, I do feel something is coming. Because here's the thing with us.
Yeah.
I will, and they're probably keep it up. There will be nothing. Okay.
I'll be good.
Keep it up. Anyway, you are really a talent. But what? Also, we're late bloomers.
Yeah.
Isn't that bizarre?
Definitely.
Like I think we are coming into our shine. And I do think, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, how did you guys do this thing? I'm like, well, we've known each other for 100 years. Do you know what I mean? There's something it's coming. It's coming.
There's something coming, I think. And by the way, that reminds me, I got to get you still your human design, which we did on you a while back. And share that with you. Because my human design.
Are you a manifesting generator?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah.
And I was on the what they call on the roof or on the. I was watching and waiting until 50. My human design sort of says that until
Wait,
now.
are you doing mine? Did you do mine? Or
we did it.
Wait,
We've got
happening?
We got it, but we got
it?
Well, we got to walk you through it.
Oh, okay.
We haven't had time to get you on the horn and walk you through it. Because if I just throw it at you, you won't know what.
I'll be confused. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be like, meh.
There's a lot of little things. Yeah, there's a lot of definitions.
Yeah, you got to kind of know. And but yeah, we've got it.
Well,
and I know more about you than know.
I want to know because I need some guidance. There's some big things coming up that I need to know which way to go.
Okay. Well, it's not crystal ball, but there is actually some. It does kind of. It does help you. Jay, you know about it?
I do. Yeah. Wait. So we can tell her. Do we know if she's like a generator, a manifesting generator, or what's the third one? It's the one that sees the.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look at it.
I'm trying to think of which one I think.
I didn't look at it either. I just did it.
No. They're.
Something like.
What is someone that sees the viewer? No, the.
It's a
oracle. What is it?
I
don't know either. Those are like the three main ones. There's a lot of different things. And
I'm excited. I'd love to.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
I do know of it.
Okay.
I do know of it. You should do it.
Here's something fun for us. You want to see my role in that play, the same play?
Oh my gosh, yes. All angles. All angles.
That's me.
Oh, so over the top.
I'm the guy who brings the box.
What a great job.
I was the delivery guy. And I say, you got to sign for it. I'm not the guy in the white tuxedo. I'm the delivery boy.
Okay.
But the best genius. No small parts. No small parts.
No small parts. In fact, what's the guy? The blonde. He was in your, and he had his manager came. He actually had a big role in that. His manager came that night and said, "Hey, who's that guy? Because he did a lot with that very small part," which I thought was great. And then he said, "Maybe he might represent you." And I thought, great. And then he never did.
Great story, Todd.
Really great story.
Exactly.
I just wanted to show you the difference, how I was treated at university as a white man with a tiny role as compared to Effie Brown, the lovely black woman creature who got the big part. So,
And this was in the 90s before all the DEI and the woke stuff.
The DEI and the woke stuff. Yeah. So, take it with a grain of salt, folks, when you hear what Effie has to say about how bad she had it in uni. Matt Damon's going, yeah, I knew it. He's listening now. He's like, oh, yeah, see? Yeah. I knew it.
Get her through the mud.
But let's talk about, for real, the casting stuff, because and then we'll let you go. I don't want to hold you too long.
Mm-hmm.
But so your experience now with actors, obviously your acting experience has informed how you
100%.
Cast. So, yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
So I don't know where to begin with it, but I just want to say, actors, when you're going into a casting room, I know you guys are a bundle of nerves and all of that good stuff, but truly, we on the other side are just as nervous and hopeful that you are the one that we're looking for. Right. Like, we are literally, and you being you, like, I truly, like, someone reading the lines is one thing, you know what I mean? That's whatever. It's that time before that's really important, and the time after, because I get to know, like, who they are as a person, because also, or to be like, you know what, I could spend a month or two with them. Right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Or to be like, these seem like my type of people. If it's a small role or whatever, like, a lot of people might be able to do that role, but it really is who you are as a human being coming in. It's really important.
Yeah.
Can I work? Or just like to be like, what type of person are they? You know what I mean? Like, this person's like a kooky. This person's like aloof. This person's like, I'm an actor. It's like, to get that. It's so important. So don't be anybody but yourself. You're performative, be the performative you, but like, be you. So that's first and foremost. I also when talking about, actors, I will say this, come prepared. There's too much money on the line.
Yeah.
There's too much money. There's not enough time. And whereas you think like, I'm on set and ready to do blah, 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 like, people are like, you are one of many, as I am one of many. We are putting all these pieces have to come together. So when someone's like, line, what is this? Like that sort of thing, like that drives everything up and it messes up everything. Just to be really clear with that, be professional, be prepared, be on time. Those are the things that'll take you very far, because there's a lot, like I remember talking about me being a producer and how people make you feel. There are a lot of good actors out there, but someone who goes above and beyond, someone that's on time, ready, pitch in, here, I can do that. Or someone, here's another one that, like, I'm telling you, oh, we're only going to get your co-stars close up. We can have a stand-in read your lines.
Right.
Don't do that. If you are in the scene, it means, like, as a producer and a director, and I'm not a director, but like as a producer and also directors are looking at and to be like, oh, great. Even though they could be in their trailer breezing their papaya, they are here on set working the scene, even though it's not on them, and still not being like, yes, I went to the store, and the other person has to act their ass off, and then but really being in it. That is really important. So those are like and that's like a little tip that no one really tells you about, but being there and participating, it's really, that goes a really long way, and then I think more so for directors and producers, of like, having that acting chops of being able to see like, oh, someone's not into it, or something has happened, or like they're freaking out because they can't contact that part of them that they need for the scene. So you know what I mean? And creating a safe enough space as a producer person to be like, what do you need in order to get there? So being an actor and being able to know how to utilize your tool. I mean, it goes into being professional, but also knowing how to use your tool of like, I just need 5 minutes of total silence, or I just need to watch this thing. I don't want anyone touching my face. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm in. Like, knowing what you need goes a long way, because then if we know, we can give it to you. Do you know what I mean? And be like, got you. But if you're asking us to guess, or if you're a drama, not that, I mean, I don't work with drama queens. Do you know what I mean? So I haven't had that experience in a very long time. I haven't had that experience. We've been pretty good at casting, but like, I've heard of people being like, they're not coming out of their trailer. Like, that's like are you high? Like, that doesn't happen anymore, because it'll be like, you cannot come out of your trailer and you will never work again. Like, because no one will ever say that to your, like, to your
diva, prima donna actor days are kind of gone. Yeah, that is advice I give to aspiring actors all the time, which is, once everything else is building, you're going to sit in your trailer, you're going to work on your lines, you're going to run it with the other person in the scene, whatever it is. They're going to light it, they're going to set it, then they're going to call you to set, and they're going to say, okay, boom. And in that period of time that you've got the camera in front of you, the director, the focus puller, the DOP, makeup, costume, that's your time. Don't feel like you can't do and say what you need to do and feel to say to get the job done in that moment. As soon as you're done, your time's over. You need to go, get out of their way, and back to set, back to your trailer or whatever like that. But in that moment, when they've got you lit and you're ready to go, if there's anything you need, anything that's not working for you, any question you have, because one of the questions I always ask in that situation is, can I see my frame? And they're always shocked. I go, and I'll have the DOP flip the monitor or just tell me, like, what can you see? Because they won't tell you that, stuff like that. He goes, show me. Am I here? What you got hands?
Yeah, exactly. That's good.
That. I say, flip the thing so I can. Oh, okay, yeah. And they say, okay, that's usually what I need. So I know if I'm doing something up here or tight.
Like, you're off camera and they're like, ugh, we have to widen the lens.
Yeah. How much latitude do I have? Can I move this far? And nope, don't go there. Okay, so just so I know. But don't be intimidated to ask those questions in those moments, because they need you to do your job well.
Yeah.
Don't be a pain in the ass in lead up to that. Where's the director? I want to talk about this cappuccino. And don't after they go
Todd story.
Cut. Yeah, that's my favorite. This cappuccino is cold. Excuse me, Guillermo del Toro. Excuse me.
Throw it in his face.
You can take this cappuccino and back to Mexico. Anyway, so that is something. Definitely good advice. I don't know if the rest of it was any good, but I wasn't really listening.
That was it. You were tired by that time.
Paying much attention.
You got tired of your own story.
Last thing I want to talk about now, because we mentioned it, the industry has changed. Can you talk to that point? How has it changed?
Okay.
How is it that Jay will never work again?
I don't think that's true. I think, Jay, this is your time. I think that what you need to think about is that, you know what I mean? It's your time. And as long as you know spiritually and on a DNA level that like, it's your time, it's your time. But what I tell the people's coming up and the people that are here now is that it is a new world order. And just speaking of it, I'm not going to get into politics, but the world is becoming a bit of a dumpster fire and things are changing and contracting, the same as being reflected in Hollywood. If you look at things are being consolidated, there's only like everybody's cannibalizing. Each studio is cannibalizing the other studio. There's only like 3 places that are making movies. And if you're not with those 3, right, if you're a new up, you know what I mean? Like it's a problem. So I can talk about the problems all day long. You can like read Hollywood Reporter or Deadline or just go online any Substack and figure that part out. I want to talk about what can we do about it. So for me, where I'm like, let me tell you what I think you need to do. I think we need to shift our perception. I think that, you know, I love the idea of the sort of the true independent of getting people together. You don't need a lot of money anymore to make something. I think you have a good phone or different thing. Like the medium has now come to you. It has been democratized. AI, use it ethically, but like it can be your friend and it also, you can make things, right? And you need to make things. If you are waiting for someone to give you like, please come on in. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not going to happen carpet. Where people are coming to you like these, like the cheering today, but like TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, all those, like those are the places like people will come to you and you're like, I'm doing this with or without you. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm doing that. I also think it's really important for people to think about there's other distribution platforms because at the end of the day, a studio, which is a distributor, will eat first and eat the most. Everyone's like, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm going to sell my movie to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you probably won't. No one's selling their movies to these distributors right now. The streamers are the streamers, or if they're selling your movie or they're licensing it, your movie might cost $3 million. They're going to give you $250,000 for 10 years. And you know what I mean? And then your ass out. That's all you got, right? But there's other distribution platforms and things that people, if you build your brand, your audience, all of those things, hi puppy, all of those things, that's how you will be able to make a sustainable living in this business. Shift your perception. Don't wait for someone to give you an opportunity. Make your opportunity and think like an entrepreneur, whether you're an actor, director, writer, producer, that's that. And like your gold is probably amongst your friends are the people that you know. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like if you are even and I don't know, I know like micro dramas and verticals are not terribly well written. They don't look great. But that is a way for you guys, but it still is a way to make a good one and to do something for like, you know, you can crowdfund like 50 grand, 100 grand, something like, you know what I mean? You could do something or make it, you know, have a bake sale and make something, but make something.
Maybe that's
movie. How this is good. Well, 100%
Me
is
and
the
Jay
movie.
out there with a lemonade stand, crowdfunding to make a movie. That
could work.
Disgusting.
That could really...
Love it.
It could all happen for you. But that's where like I really do feel like it's we're going back into that entrepreneurial stage.
Produce something, put it on YouTube and see what kind of
money YouTube, you can monetize it now. And don't sleep on YouTube. YouTube is huge. YouTube is eating I know. But YouTube is getting ready to eat everybody's lunch. It has eaten everybody's lunch. It's in the process of eating everybody's lunch.
Everything's swallowing everything's getting swallowed up. There's gonna be one 100%. Movie making company at the end of it.
And that's the thing, but like people are going to want, it's going to be like back in the day. And this is like, I don't want to end on this note, but I might, but like, it's like back in the day, remember back in the day and we're sort of dating ourselves. We're like Master P would like sell his CDs out of his car. People like, there's like drug, like not like back, but that's sort of like drug lore, but like literally, I mean, it being like, it's going to go back to like, what are you holding? What do you have? What's cool? What is this? And people know how to get it to each other because there's going to be those sorts of like little tribes or networks. That's what we're going back to.
And if it's awesome, it's cream will rise to the top. Yeah.
And cream rise, but also to be like, man, it's like the other lesson that I said is how much money do you need to make? you need to know how much money you need to live on for a month, because then that's how you know that you're going to sell your stuff. They'd be like, yeah, I can sell this for $1 a watch. Do you know what I mean? If I get X amount of people, or I can sell this for that.
Right.
100%.
Why is there more stuff being made and less jobs for actors?
I don't know. Is that true?
Well, I look at any streaming platform.
I don't know if that's true.
There's just, it's hundreds and hundreds of programs. You can't even keep track anymore of the series on Prime and Netflix and Hulu and Apple and everybody's, and just on and on and on content being generated. But maybe there's just more actors out there in the game. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I don't know how to, I don't quite maybe because there's more true crime and documentary that don't involve actors. Reality TV is reality, right? Ish, right? So people are playing, so like that has maybe taken up a lot of the market where you're talking about series and things. I think that actors, their biggest challenge is going to be AI. I don't think it's going to be, I think that's the biggest thing that you guys have to worry about. And I would really like for the new people coming in and for the people who are established to figure out how you can own your face or own your likeness and learn how to, monetize that. Like we are becoming a brand, like you are becoming the medium. Like this is it. Like that's what's happening
from birth.
But for actors, again, there is a lot going on, but who is seeing it?
Right.
A lot of the streaming stuff is just like you just said, it's fodder. It's just to look like it's a quantity business.
Yeah.
It's not like, what are you watching? What is the series? What is this? Or the same terrible people still keep getting these jobs. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
the same actors keep working, and you're like, where are
they got one job once, and then there's no fresh faces. It's just recycled because they've already been in something, so they have a certain amount of followers.
Because they're like exactly, audience. But literally, but followers, like that's where like you can take that into your own hand. If you're doing, like I make my own content on my own channel, TikTok, Patreon, whatever. Like this is what I bring to the table. So at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'll be fine. So, but like financiers will be like, oh, great. Maybe they can bring what they have to the table. We can bring our money and what have you. But I still think the way to go is that people are going to become their own individual studios.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's good. Final. Talk about your quilting. Your real passion. I thought,
my real passion.
That's the cherry for you. No. She's a quilter, Jay.
Which is gonna get cut out. No, so I think a lot of this is it's called self-care.
Okay.
And I think that whenever you're in the business as an actor, whatever, you need to have something that you do that gets you together, whether it's meditate or what have you. And mine has been sewing. It's been quilting. So I have a company called Conjure Quilts. It's on Etsy. Conjure, like a conjure woman.
Love it.
So I'm adding more things. So I have I'm launching officially. I'm going to do like my little Instagram, like probably in the next week or so. I'm starting with like Black History Month, and I'm making underground railroad quilts because I do feel that in this day and age, like even though and here in the States, we need to we need to rescue some people. Some people need to be like driven to freedom. Do you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that it makes a lot of sense, but that's my happy place, is that I had to find like quilting, making things, putting disparate pieces together to make a whole, which is sort of what producing is, but it's the thing that makes me, it's my self-care. When this business gets too crazy, I'm like, I'm going to make something, and I made this. I'm not waiting for someone to tell me I can make it. I'm not fine. You know what I mean? Like I did it.
Yeah.
And it's done.
Well, it's actually your real joy, isn't it?
It really is. Like I'm happy.
I'm looking
to transition. Yeah. I'm in my happy place. I'm looking to transition. Yeah. To transition
when you're quilting.
Into a quilter.
Yeah. Literally. I'm being like, I'm going to be my Martha Stewart self, and to be like, because my thing is all about textiles. Like it's for women, people of color, LGBTQ+, and people with disability. You don't get to see yourselves reflected in, like pillows, blankets, whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's always, something that's like super normative, whatever,
Would you make me a MAGA quilt?
You know what?
Bespoke.
I would love to make you a MAGA quilt. Now, what would be in that quilt? Because
broken glass and
it's
razor
called
blades.
Conjure Quilts. I'll put some intention over that quilt, baby. I'll bring you over to our side. Don't you worry.
I'm gonna come up with a bespoke design that Be unique for me.
There you go. You know what? And let me tell you, if I did a mega quilt, I'm sure that's how my business would take off. Then you'd be like, Effie, how do you feel about selling out? And I'll be like, well, that's my lesson for now. Right.
It's all right. I don't mind.
You know what? I'm like, it's great.
MAGA quilts to order.
Oh my God, do not, that you will not get that on Conjure quilts. No, you will not get that.
Well, I really
You're
love
the
you.
best.
You're the best. I love your quilts. I love the fact that you do that. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, you guys. This was a really good to talk all about me and first thing in the morning.
Yeah, your favorite subject. I knew. I thought, how do I get her on the show?
Me,
If I tell
meetings all day today, they're gonna thank you because I'll be like done talking about myself. I'll be able to listen to them more fully.
Shiny, you're gonna make them. How are you gonna make them feel?
I'm gonna make them feel like that's the thing. Make you feel.
I'm gonna make you feel.
I'll do like
great
a little
about
survey.
yourself.
Like, did I make you feel okay today?
You'll bring how to make you feel survey. That's funny.
Exactly. How do I make you exactly? I think that would be great to be.
How
like
did we make you feel? Did you feel
like
good?
a little red frowny
Uber
face?
Eats. Exactly.
Yeah.
How was your meeting with Effie? Did she make you feel A? Like 3 stars, 2 stars, 5 stars?
Yes.
Well, absolute delight.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, Jay. Such a pleasure.
It's a pleasure, Effie. Thank you for coming on.
It was great.
It's cathartic. This is a cathartic.
Yeah, I hope we didn't open up too many wounds for you. And if we did, then
no.
just grab a
Are you
quilt.
kidding me?
Okay.
It'll be good. You'll be great. All right. Can I hop off now?
Yes, we love you. There she is,
All right,
the great
big kiss. Love you.
Effie T. Brown.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Dear.
Big kiss.
We'll be in touch soon. All right. Woo! Well,
Okay.
it's probably our longest episode yet.
Maybe, yeah.
But
Went by kind of fast, to be honest.
well, once you get her started,
Yeah, you are friends with the talkers. This felt like it felt a bit cathartic for me because it felt very like it was about coming to terms with who you like, looking at your past self and coming to terms with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. She's great for that kind of definite self-improvement, the self-work that one should engage in their life and just kind of moving forward.
Yeah.
Dealing with it at the time, learning the lessons at the time, moving forward, and then not being bound down by it, let's say, later on.
Yeah, she did. I didn't get the sense she was like, I don't know, like actually truly weighed down by her past. I felt like she was looking at it with a very fresh, like loving perspective, where she's like honest, but still with love. So I found that impressive and a quality that
she just keeps going higher
would
and
like
higher.
to have.
Yeah.
Something
for everyone there. Well, thank you, Jay, for holding on. And thank you, audiences, for joining us for another episode of the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Yes.
With our extra super special guest, Effie Brown.
And if you're not subscribed yet, remember, like Matt Damon, hit that subscribe button.
Matt Damon's a subscriber. Like, subscribe, follow, and we'll see you next time on the Offstage Acting Podcast.
Bye.
Take care. And we're out. We're clear.